In this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 businesses that you can start in 2024 to start making money online. If you're looking for business ideas that you can use to finally get to financial freedom in this new year, then these are business ideas that you need to hear that you can immediately start implementing to start making money for yourself. Now, this is going to be part 1 of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing where I'm going to be showing these different business ideas. So make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end so that I show you how you can get access to all the other videos that I'm also going to be doing so that you can at least find one idea that will make 2024 the best year of your life. And now the way that I'm going to be approaching this is that I'm going to list out all the business ideas. I'm going to show you the pros of those ideas. I'm going to show you the cons, and then I'm going to give you a basic table outline that will show you everything about that business so that you can make a good decision to say that, okay, this is the business idea that I want to try. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, please show your support by helping me take this video to 1,000 likes, smash the like button and hit the subscribe and the bell notification so that you'll be notified in the future when I drop the next videos in this series. But before I get into it, I'd love to hear from you. What's one business idea or side hustle that you have tried before and how did it go? Doesn't matter whether you succeeded or you failed. I'd just love you to leave a comment. It might just help somebody. Business idea number 1 is building a personal brand. Now, a personal brand is when you use a social media platform. It can be YouTube, it can be Twitter, it can be a blog. Doesn't matter which platform it is, but you are simply sharing content that you know people will find interest in. Now, you can talk about anything, or your content can be about any type of subject. For example, I talk a lot about making money online, but I've seen people talking about makeup. I've seen a lot of people talking about movie reviews, like what's the best thing to watch on Netflix in December. As long as you focus on creating content about something that people find interest in, you then can start building an audience. And then by having an audience, there are so many different ways that you can make money from this. For example, every single month I get paid by YouTube to just post videos like this. And personally, I've seen people make from as low as $100 a month to even about $100,000 per month just by sharing content. So the ways that you'll be earning include the platforms can pay you money. And I'm very much aware that YouTube pays you, TikTok pays you, and now even Twitter pays you just for making posts. Number 2, companies can actually approach you and ask you to create content that includes their products. For example, you can just be recording a video like this and then you just show how you use maybe a certain software or certain tools to do what you do on a daily basis. And that's what we call brand deals. Number 3, you can actually create your own products that you can then sell to your own audience and people will be buying from you. For example, if I start my own t-shirt brand and people who love my content will just buy that brand. Another way is for people to actually make donations or to use what's called Buy Me Coffee, which is just a way of your subscribers or your audience just supporting you by giving you donations of money every single time they see your content. Now, the reason why building a personal brand is so important is because one of the biggest things that's happening nowadays in terms of business is that people are focusing more on people who can draw people's attention, which is why TikTok is such a powerful platform nowadays, because anyone can just capture anyone's attention just by posting a video that can easily go viral. So the pros of this is that first and foremost, you can create a business around something that you're interested in. If you're interested in talking about movies, you can create a whole YouTube channel or Twitter channel just talking about the best movies that people can watch. Number 2, there are so many ways to make money from this. You are not limited to waiting until the end of the month to receive payments, but there are so many avenues that you'll be getting money from. The cons, however, are that first and foremost, you need to be consistent. You can't be someone who just posts content once and then you disappear for a couple of months. You are not going to get paid for doing that. So you have to be someone who is disciplined to show up, if possible, on a daily basis, presenting content that people will find value in. The second con is that at the start, it might be difficult if you've never done content creation before to actually stand out, because obviously you're going to be wanting to do what you've seen other people do, but eventually the more that you keep doing it, eventually you'll get it. Now, I created a category table for you, and as you can see, these are the different categories. In terms of starting capital, it's very low because all that you need is just your face or just your ability to type out content. And if you're going to be recording video content, you don't need an expensive camera. You can just simply use the camera on your phone. In terms of time required, it's high because it requires you to create the content. It's going to take a lot of time to create the content and then actually edit it. Difficulty level is actually moderate because the more you do it, the easier it becomes. In terms of risk, it's very low risk because the only risk that you're taking is just simply putting yourself out there. And then the ability to scale, it's the highest level because there are so many ways that you can possibly make money from this. In fact, I've got a video where I train people how to become content creators. If you're interested in checking that out, make sure that you check out this video right here, which will show you how to become a content creator or an influencer and actually make money from that. Business idea number 2 is what's called Airbnb arbitrage. This is when you're going to be using the Airbnb platform to actually make some money. And the way that you're going to be approaching this is that you're going to be getting houses or flats or places where people can stay. You put them on the Airbnb app, and then you're going to get people to pay for those houses on short-term leases, and then that's how you're going to be making your money. So now there are 3 different ways that you actually can approach this. The first one is, let's say maybe you've got a property that you're not currently using and you know it's a nice place where people can come and stay as a guest house. You can put it on Airbnb and people will come and use it, and then you get paid. The second way is if you don't own any property but you know people, or you've got access to people who have got houses to rent, but those people are failing to get people to come and stay in those houses. You actually can convert those houses into Airbnbs. You make an agreement with the house owner and to allow you to actually put the house on Airbnb. You're going to pay the house owner the amount that they want for rent. Let's say, for example, they want 5,000 rands if you're in South Africa. But then you then take that house, you put it on Airbnb, and then you lease it out for short-term leases. Someone can come and stay for 3 days, for 5 days, or even 10 days. The maximum is 30 days. And because people are using it for short spaces of time, you can get as many people as possible to come in there and use it. And then obviously you're going to be making enough money to pay the landlord their rent money. And then whatever you make after that is going to be your profit. The third way that you can approach it is if you actually find Airbnbs yourself, but then you create your own platform, like maybe a website, or you use platforms like Facebook groups, and then you find people who are looking for places to stay. And then when they pay you as an agent, you then go and book the Airbnb place for them. From those 3 different options, you just simply choose the one that makes the most sense to you. Personally, I'd go for number 2 because you don't need to own any property. You just simply find people who've got the property, you make that agreement with them, and then you start leasing out their houses as Airbnb places. Now, the pros are that if you get a very good place in a very good location, you can make a lot of money from it, especially depending on the different times and seasons. For example, if you're going towards December, the time I'm recording this video, you can make lots of money as people are looking to go on a holiday. Secondly, it's a very scalable business because you're not limited to just getting one Airbnb, but then you can list out as many as possible. Meaning that after you cover all the costs, you're going to be just basically printing out money. Now, the cons, however, are that you will need a bit of money to be able to do this. For example, when you're starting out, you may need some money to pay off. Like if you get one place, you may need some money to pay off the rent for the month for that place as you start leasing it out. And then also there are market fluctuations, meaning that you can get a place that's booming in one time of the year and then it's quiet in the next time of the year. Now, when we jump into our categories table here, under starting capital, you see that it's high there. I just mentioned that it's high there because you definitely need money to be able to start this, though it might not be a lot depending on the location or and the type of Airbnb that you're going to be doing. But yeah, basically you're going to need money to start that. Time required, it's moderate because you just, first of all, most of the time is going to be spent figuring out, okay, how to do the business, just learning the business model. Then once you figure it out, you will find ways that make it easier and easier to keep finding more and more Airbnbs. Then difficulty level is also moderate. Anyone can do this as long as you've got the capital and you have the knowledge in terms of how to go about it. It's not something that only super intelligent people can do. Risk level is moderate as long as you are willing to maybe spend the first month's rent in advance, and maybe you might not make money if you haven't yet figured out how you're going to be getting people to come and lease out the properties. And then ability to scale, it's super high because, like I mentioned, you can get as many Airbnbs as possible. Now, personally, I'm planning on doing a whole series about Airbnb in the coming new year because this is one of the models that I'm going to be pursuing full-time. to create income for myself. Let me know in the comments if you want me to share my findings, my story, my journey as I become an Airbnb host and expert who will be able to help people to do the same. Business idea number 3 is starting a print-on-demand business. This is a business where you're going to be creating custom designs for products and people buy them from a website, and they only get printed when someone makes the payment. In other words, the only thing that's going to cost you money is actually just getting a design. If you've got some design skills, that's good for you. It's not going to cost you anything, but maybe you may want to hire a designer to create these nice, amazing designs for you. You then put them on the website, which I'll show you shortly. So in other words, you're not going to handle any inventory. You're not going to handle any stock. You're not going to handle any deliveries. It's all going to be done by the print-on-demand company. Now, there are many different companies out there that do this, but one of them is called Printify. And basically, you just go there, register, you sign up, you put your designs, and then you send traffic to the website that they create for you. And once people start buying, that's when you start making your money. Now, the pros of this is that you have got low barrier of entry. In other words, they are basically low startup costs. Like I mentioned, the only cost is going to be you creating designs. And then secondly, you can do any type of products. You can do t-shirts, you can do mugs, you can do phone covers, you name it. There's just so much different types of product that you can actually create, as long as you know that this is something that people want. Now, the cons, however, are that because you're not the one who's going to actually be printing and shipping out the designs, it means that you cannot control when people will receive their products. Some people might want something immediately or at a shorter time, and it's a bit difficult for you to organize that as you're not the one who's delivering them. Con number 2 is that there's lots of competition in this space, meaning that you have to come up with some designs or an angle that is unique that will actually capture people's attention and get them to want to buy from you. Now, in terms of starting capital, it's very low, like I've mentioned. The time required is also low because you just mainly focus on creating the designs, and then you set up your shop, and then you can actually do all that within just a day. Difficult level is very low because the platforms, I personally have used about 2 of these platforms, and it's not difficult for you to actually use them. And then in terms of risk, it's also very low because your only cost, like I keep emphasizing, is just on the designs. And then the ability to scale, it's on moderate, because it just depends on your ability maybe to catch a trend that's happening at the moment and then create the designs for that trend. But as we know about trends always change with time. Business idea number 4 is self-publishing ebooks. Now, what you'll be doing here is that you'll be creating ebooks and then selling them on maybe your own personal website, but the most common way that people do this is by using Amazon Kindle platform. So you just simply create the ebook once, and then people can buy what you created once over and over again, and that's where you're going to be making your profits. Now, in terms of what exactly the ebook is going to be about, the sky is the limit. You can talk about anything. It can be business related, it can be in regards to your career, or it can be fiction, as long as it's something that captures people's attention and you know that people will be interested in. For example, you might not think that sewing is something that is of interest to people, but as you can see from this example on your screen, you can see that people are actually buying this ebook from Amazon to learn how to sew. So you basically take your knowledge and then you just put it into document form and then create this nice ebook, and then you start selling it on your website or on the Amazon platform. But also there are many other platforms that you can do the same thing as well. The pros are that you as the creator have got all absolute control. In other words, you can choose how the design looks like and how the content actually looks like, meaning that this is a product that you can create that you'll actually be proud of. Secondly, there is potential for high royalty earnings, meaning that you're going to be earning money constantly from depending on the platform that you're going to be using. You're just going to be getting the money coming in as long as like you created something that people want. The cons are that firstly, it's going to take you time to create that ebook. If you're someone who's done it before, probably it may take you a short space of time, but if it's your first time, maybe it can take you anywhere from about 2 weeks to some people I know who've taken 3 months or 6 months just writing an ebook. The second con is that they sometimes can be marketing challenges in that it's also a competitive market. You need to first of all come up with an angle of this is what my book is about, and then you're going to be competing with other people who are already doing this. But most definitely, if you do your research enough and learn how it really works, you can make sure that you are actually standing out. Then in terms of the categories, as you can see here, starting capital is actually very low because it's just going to be you typing out the book. And then time required is actually high because it's actually going to take you lots of time to create that if you are someone who's an absolute beginner. But obviously as you go on doing this, you learn how to do it faster. And also you actually can use AI to be able to type this out for you. Difficulty level is basically moderate because you just need to learn how to type, or you can use AI to help you. Risk level is very low because it's just going to be the only thing that's going to cost you here, or the risk here is just your time. And then ability to scale, it's moderate because it's mainly dependent on your ability to create ebooks that are actually winning and people want to buy. Business idea number 5 is becoming a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is someone who helps another business owner run their business virtually. For example, there are people who are in America or the UK, wherever, and they run businesses, but they don't have time to run their own social media. They can hire someone like you to do their social media for them. That will include tasks like actually replying to people's comments or actually creating content that they can share on their social media platforms. Now, one of my friends called Kay is actually doing this in South Africa, and she's making crazy money doing this. And she actually teaches people how to be able to become social media managers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link to one of her videos here that you can just check out, and maybe you can become a social media manager. The first pro of this business idea is that there's flexibility in terms of what you can offer. You're not just limited. You can start with social media, but there's just so many different things that you can actually offer as a virtual assistant. Secondly, there's a growing demand for virtual assistants. As more and more people are taking their businesses online, there are many things that they realize they cannot do for themselves. Therefore, they're willing to pay someone just like you to help them with their tasks. The cons, however, are that firstly, there is competition out there, meaning that if you're an absolute beginner, it may be a bit tricky for you to find clients because of the high competition out there. And then finding your first few clients is difficult. But once you get your first and second client and you got great testimonials, you're basically going to be winning clients from referrals. They'll tell their friends, and their friends will tell their friends, and then basically you become the go-to person to help people with whatever it is that you're going to be helping them with. Now, under starting capital, it's low because the only thing that you just need to have is a skill that you can use to help people. Time required is also low because it's just going to be taking your time. Difficult level is very low. You just need to have a skill and know what to do with it. Risk level is also low. The only risk is that you're going to be taking your time. And then ability to scale is basically moderate because the business is mainly going to be focused around you. So your ability to manage your time will determine that. But also, if you do want to scale, you then can get other people to work under you who do the exact same thing, and then you only focus on getting clients. Now, let me know in the comments from those 5, which one is your top business idea that you want to try. And also, if you want me to create more in-depth content about all these different types of videos, let me know in the comments, and then I will create a video based on what you ask in the comments. If you found value in this video, make sure that you show your support just by hitting the like button. It helps so that more and more people will be able to see this content. And then if you're not yet a subscriber, make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell notification so that you're notified every time I drop content just like this. And now, if you want to see part 2 of this video series, make sure that you click and watch on this video right here that's popping up, and you'll be able to see video number 2 so that you can see other ideas of businesses that you can start. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Take care.